guys, this is Chris Appleton of Absolver, and you're listening to Angel Gareth on BRFM.
Of course, Dream Circuit, an unusual name for a band.
Nothing to do with me.
I don't know who gets the blame for that one. I think was it the song first.
Quite possibly.
We got a track called Dream Circuit 8, and that was based on something Dave had been reading about. I think Dave's a guitarist, and the name kind of fell out of that in the end, so it wasn't.
So you just stole your name from a song?
Basically, yeah.
Basically, one of your songs, though. Songs, yeah. Well, that's the main thing. It's one of your songs.
Could have been worse.
Guys, HRH PROG 3. What a date. Great date up here in, of course, North Wales.
Yeah, lovely.
And an eclipse this morning.
Yeah.
What were you guys doing at that time to watch the eclipse, or was you too slaughtered from last night?
No. We were up on the staring over by the beach there with the rest of the crowd. Yeah, trying to view it through a mobile phone.
Which didn't work at all.
No, we didn't.
So it didn't work at all. You were stood there at the beach trying to watch an eclipse with a mobile phone.
But hey,
it didn't really work.
At least we were there.
We were there.
You were
there in spirit.
Well, very rock and roll. I was actually on the phone to my wife talking about my daughter taking her first steps this morning.
Oh, there's a nice one, isn't it?
That was better than the eclipse, I think.
So you're here and your daughter's out home taking her first steps, and you're missing out on that.
Yeah.
Did she video it on her phone?
She's videoed it.
There you go. Then you're going to catch up.
We've got it.
Now, of course, you played here last night.
Yep.
You opened up the party. Well, you didn't open up the party, but you were second on. But to me, you opened up that party because, you know, prog is an unusual sound to get, right? It's if you think about it, it's a very unusual sound to try and work around. And you guys don't look like you want to do prog. You guys look like you want to do metal. Or you want to be Westlife.
That's an interesting analogy there. Yeah, not sure about that one.
So you moved from compliment to insult very quickly there.
I think
Boyzone then, all right, Boyzone.
I think we've got musically. We've got. I mean, myself and Jay, we were big into metal in the teens, and still are into metal to some degree, certainly. And Andy's got a big punk background, so I think probably with our music, we've got, compared to a lot of prog rock, if you like to use that phrase, we're probably a bit harder edged, got a bit more punch to us than perhaps a lot of what people expect.
Yeah, expect from.
So we've got some technicalities in there, perhaps, and different time signals and things like that. But live, certainly, we've got
it's a total different sound to what you expect for a prog band, because most people think prog. You think the Enid, you think Steel Eye Span, you know, stuff like that, which is really psychedelic and that. But then watching some of the guys that have been on stage today as well, it's totally fresh coming into it, isn't it? I think it's a new, fresh look to it.
I think it's such a broad... I'm not a big one for genres, really, and I don't think when we started out, we didn't set out thinking we're going to be a prog band or we're going to be a psychedelic band particularly. We just kind of got together and thought, let's see what we can do. And so we all bring different influences to it. But, you know, if we're going to talk about genres, prog in itself is such a broad genre from one end to the other. There's such variety within it, and especially with progressive metal as well. It can, you know, what one person likes at one end of the spectrum, they're going to hate at the other end. And we probably fall somewhere in between, I guess.
Somewhere in between. Because there's a lot of bands out there. I mean, there's a band playing tomorrow, Colibus. And I seen them at Sonisphere. Now, that's a metal festival.
Yeah.
And these guys are playing here tomorrow at Prog Fest. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you guys here for? That's not what I'd expect for them.
No, but
and the same as when I looked at you guys on stage, I thought, hang on. Between you lot, I'm going to expect metal coming out of you. And then what you brought to that stage last night was a total turnaround. It was like, wow, this is what I'm liking now as prog.
Yeah, I think the trouble with when you label stuff, and obviously everything has to have has to have a label. People feel that it has to do, but like Andy said, we never set out to do a particular genre. We've got a lot of different influences. Most of them are rock or metal or punk. So I think we just got together. with those influences, written some songs. If people happen to think that they fall into that prog kind of genre, then that's great, and we're happy to go with that. You know, we listen to a fair bit of prog music, but I'd like to think that those different types of influences that we sort of put on the table is reflected in what we do.
Yeah, and I think when you come to a festival as well, people are quite quite glad to hear something a bit different. You know, I remember going to Download when Porcupine Tree played there the first time, and I was really worried about how they were going to go down. And actually, people loved it because it was a nice.
An old punk going to Download.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Well, you know, there's a fair bit of crossover that goes on.
Did you used
there.
to have the spiky hair and that?
Short, spiky hair. Yeah.
It's even shorter now, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, time marches on and all that.
I'm not saying nothing.
No.
Look at me. I'm like Santa Claus now.
but no, I think people are, and Jay was making the point earlier that when people are at a festival, they're quite receptive and open to hearing new things, and so they don't necessarily, and with prog being such a broad genre, people are not necessarily there to expect something. They just think, well, let's go and see what these guys are like and see what happens, and hopefully they're pleasantly surprised with what they get.
But you come out last night, I got to be honest, you come out last night and you literally kicked that stage, kicked the crowd that was in there, and of course you did an acoustic set today.
Yeah.
How did that go for you lot? Because we were just talking before we come out now, and you're saying you've never done it. Is it something you're going to be looking at doing now, acoustically?
It's not something that we'd really ever thought about doing, and we got quite short notice to do what we did today, and we thought, well, yeah, we'll have a go. Why not? We're here. We might as well make the most of the weekend and do as much as we can. And so, but we spent most of the last 24 hours going, what the heck can we play? What's going to work acoustically? So we settled on the 3 tracks that we did, and it was very different. But people seem to like it, and you know, a lot of people came up to us afterwards and said they really enjoyed it, and we should do more of it. So maybe it is something.
Would you look at doing an acoustic album or an acoustic EP?
It's funny. So we were talking earlier. So Paul was saying that maybe that's something we should do. We've never even thought about it, but what's interesting is, so we didn't really have much time to structure what we were doing, and we certainly didn't rehearse anything. But what would be interesting would be to take a bit of time to do that, and then go, well, actually, that works like that just as well as it works when it's, you know, full on. Loud as you like sort of thing. So that then potentially gives you options to freshen up what you're doing and how you're doing it just by mixing it up a bit. So, you know, I'd say never on any of it really, but you've just got to. It's all part of being in what we do. Is you just try stuff and you mix it up and you change it.
Just go for it.
You see if it works.
And I think also now, you know, acoustic doesn't have to mean quiet, you know, anymore. There's you know, people generally when you say acoustic, they think, oh, nice finger picking and nice gentle lilting melodies. It doesn't have to be, you know.
There's a subliminal message, nice finger picking.
But it doesn't have to be
most
like
people
that,
think
know?
acoustic is your acoustic guitars, basically drums are out, it's just hitting a table or a piece of metal. But you can actually have drums in acoustics now.
Stripped down.
You can actually have your electric acoustic plugged in as well. So you're still doing that thing, but you're just sort of toning it right down at the end of the day.
For us, although it would have been nice actually for us to, if we'd have had the chance, have some time to think about it and kind of rearrange stuff. But actually, for us, it was quite interesting experiment, if you like, and it was. I enjoyed doing it because I think it put a new spin on it for us. So playing our own stuff, but playing it differently. And it makes it more interesting for us because if we, you know, not that we always play things exactly the same, but sometimes you can get a bit lazy in as much as you stick to what you know.
Take a look at it.
So it forces, exactly that, and it makes it interesting for us as musicians to reinterpret our own stuff. Which, had we not been given the opportunity this morning,
so you wouldn't have thought about doing it. You wouldn't have thought about doing an acoustic until this come up. But you guys, I mean, how many other are you?
It's five of us.
5 of you, and I got 3 of you sat here. You're from
all over.
The northwest, basically. I live in Manchester. The bass player lives in Liverpool. Dave lives in Stoke, and these guys are Crewe.
From Crewe in Cheshire, yeah.
But we all met around the Crewe Stoke area.
I was going to say, how do you guys get together though?
It's tricky now.
We do a lot of driving.
A hell of a lot of driving.
Tricky,
Do you have one of those club cars where you get your mileage built up on it now? Oh, sorry, I'm going to come visit you this week. We're going to do rehearsals. We'll build the mileage up.
It has to be carefully organised and all the rest of it. So that can be a bit prohibitive at times. But what it does do, the flip side of that, is it means when you do get together and you do get the chance to rehearse or write or whatever it is you're doing, you do make the most of the time.
Make the most of it.
Yeah, your work ethic has to be pretty strong when you do. You do get the chance
Get it.
to work together, sort of thing.
Now the other
Can't
thing,
be lazy about it.
yeah, the other thing is like you guys are metal, these two metal, punk. Now how come you suddenly decided, or did you suddenly like two metalheads get a rab of punk and go get out of that scene, get into this?
Exactly by accident. I mean, more through people who knew people who knew people, I think, is how that came about.
Yeah, but I think also there's a bit of crossover, you know, when brief history, you know, I was into punk growing up, but before that, the first band I was into was really Queen. I always liked the harder edge stuff, but got into punk, put the Queen albums back on the shelf for a bit, but then when I was sort of 16, 17, got into Hawkwind, and then you look at all the related bands like Gong, Camel.
Davey Allen as well. You guys did a lovely tribute last night, I got to say, for Davey Allen as well. Have you guys met him?
I met him once, but I was very drunk, so we'll skip over that.
Well, I'm really upset, you know. I had the pleasure of interviewing him back in 2012, and the guy then was just such a genuine nice guy, and then caught him live on stage same year. Wow, if you've not seen him, you've missed out the chance there.
I was lucky enough to see him many times over the years, both solo and with Gong.
Oh, so you caught the...
Yeah, and his solo shows, the ones he did a couple of years ago when Steve Village was back, they were just phenomenal. They were so good, and he was just such a unique, charismatic performer.
He's such a nice guy as well.
Brought,
fantastic band.
Gong often get, I think, I spoke to Steve Village once, and I was saying, you know, does it annoy you that Gong are often seen as a sort of comedy joke band in some respects because they have that humour about them, when actually they're such technically proficient musicians?
The music in them is like you guys as well. Again, is they're saying now with Gong, the music is so technically, it's so controversially hard to try and figure out what's going on in his head of all the musicians. But it's like you guys as well as what you do, because I mean, doing that tribute to Gong, you had to get into that head to go, right, let's get this right, or else we're really going to screw this up.
Didn't really think about it, to be honest.
It was now you're going, oh.
That's what we should have done.
Yeah.
I hope no Gong real fans are out there, somebody that knows music going, you missed a note.
It was just something that, you know, because it was so recent and there's been such an outpouring since it happened that, you know, and I figured there's going to be lots of people here that would have been into Gong, and, you know, I'm sure we'll not be the only people that mention him this weekend.
No, I don't think you will, because I mean, I know the Enid are here tonight, and I got an interview with them guys. I got a chat coming up with them again, and I know they were big on that as well. But for you're really youngsters.
No,
thank you for that.
Compared to
our
me,
youthful looks.
Compared to me, I'm hitting 50 this year. Yeah, come on, I'm hitting 50 this year, so I should be remembering all these bands. But you guys are like, how old? What's the oldest one of the members?
Dave's 50, the lead guitarist.
And we're younger than that.
Exactly.
10 years plus.
10 years, yeah.
But you know, we've all been going. You know, I've been going to watch bands live since I was 14, and I'm still doing it now. So, in the last 30 years, I've seen a lot of bands, and you know, you get to know. The more you look into music, the more you discover, and the more you find, and that's the beauty of it. There's always something interesting and new, even if it's old. It's new to you. Yeah.
What about web pages, though, for you guys?
Yeah, we have a web page. Yeah,
you are on Facebook.
thedreamcircuit.co.uk.
Yeah,
and we are on Facebook as well, and we do have a
Twitter
account, which I'm still struggling to get to grips with.
Now let's get back to it. Old school. What about MySpace?
We do have a MySpace page.
Everyone's got a MySpace page.
We do still.
Remember your password for it.
I've got them all written down, but I don't.
He's got them written down.
I don't
Clever man.
particularly update that so much anymore because
You
it
don't-
kind
you
of got
don't update
overtaken by Facebook. Really.
But you guys are on Facebook.
Yeah,
you're on
yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, we're there. If you search for Dream Circuit, it
iTunes,
comes top of the page, I
Reverb
think,
Nation.
Reverb Nation,
You're on
yeah.
all the usual
yeah,
outlets there for people to get hold of you guys.
Well worth checking out.
What's going to happen to you guys now after this?
So, it's,
Tours, dates.
to be fair, we've not got a great deal lined up this year.
We've got a load of stuff that we need to get down
we're writing
on tape,
them,
is
yeah.
the truth. So we've got a lot of stuff knocking about. We've been recording odds and sods and bits and bobs.
Yeah.
And it's
So
really
you're
about concerted effort.
busy as you're going along.
Sorted, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Because life gets in the way otherwise, so we've got to make a...
Well, you got to go watch a video of your daughter walking.
well, I mean that's what's happened. I mean, since we played the first HRH Prog here, I think we've had 3 babies between us.
Oh.
So, you know,
Between you. All right. Who's the father?
so obviously,
Very close.
so that yeah, so that obviously takes
Yeah,
up a lot of time. So, but then off the back of that, we thought, well, we haven't really got the time to go and do gigs. Let's put a bit more effort into writing some new
Writing, yeah.
stuff and
So
recording.
you got a new album coming out on that?
We've got a lot of stuff recorded, and we're just looking at how best to put that out, and whether that's as a new album or we're toying with the idea of doing a series of EPs and do every few months.
I've got to
keep
say
the
this
momentum
though:
going.
if people want to really catch you, and they haven't caught you here at HRH Prog, is go and look at your YouTube page as well.
YouTube,
Some
there's a few
really
bits on there,
strange videos on there.
yeah.
Strange, yeah.
Some really good videos on there. But
That's more to do with the people that come and watch us than anything else.
well, but you have got, of course, dreamcircuit.uk.co. You got a web page.
Yeah.
You got a Facebook page,
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, YouTube.
Another EP album coming out hopefully
Yeah, definitely
next
this year.
year.
We're going to
this
get
year.
something out this year, yeah. Whatever format it takes. It's a problem because we write over a relatively long period of time as it comes
Yeah, but
together.
it's so hard to.
It
think
is,
about
but
some of
it's
the
when
songs.
really
you know
getting
we've probably got an album's worth of songs, but whether we feel that
Do
it
an
actually
album
works
or-
as an album is a
whole,
different matter. So hence the thought we might put out some EPs instead, and that also allows us to do it over a period of time. And
Well, guys, I'm looking
keep
forward
things
to
rolling.
a new album coming out from you guys. Anyway, you got stuff up for sale here now today?
We've
Yep.
got some CDs. Yep. So if people want them, they can
Keep an eye out.
follow us
Yeah,
and
yeah, definitely.
we'll
You
sort
can
them
do
out.
it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Dream Circuit, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Reverb Nation.
Yeah.
Anywhere you look for it, put Dream Circuit in, it'll come up. Guys, it's been a pleasure chatting
Thank
to you
you
here
very
at
much.
HRH
You
Prog.
too.
And of course, I hope you get down to Wales to play. Well, further down south
Yeah.
Wales at the end of the day. Guys,
Fantastic.
We're always up for an invite.
excellent. It's been a pleasure chatting to you guys. I hope to catch you again sometime.
very
All right. Thanks very much.
Hi guys, this is Chris Appleton of Absolver, and you're listening to Angel Gareth on BRFM.